the way that you maintain integrity in anything. If you don't want me, then I don't want you. Never beg. I ain't about to be over here and be old Angie Bofill. I try to do all I can for you.
I don't hear nobody out there. Hold it down. Hold it down.
You see, I got on my Mickey Howard shirt. Don't do me, y'all. Don't do me. Anyway, let's get to the business. It was also from watching her father that Phyllis had learned a little about escapism. As her father had before, Phyllis had long looked to alcohol to distract her. She had added pills and marijuana to the mix before leaving Pittsburgh. Now in New York, she and Larry had begun experimenting with booger sugar. While high, the couple's marital issues seemed to drift away on a cloud of smoke. But by the next morning, the issues were glaring and undeniable. After my mom died, I told you I lost my fucking mind. Some of y'all that have been here long enough to know what's up with me, y'all know I dealt with the text. I'm going to say 100% of the time that I was dealing with him, I was high. Now, I told you I've never been a smoker, but I was on them edibles like a mother hunchie. And I mean, during times where I probably should have gathered myself and just walked away, I just ate a cookie and we was good. We'd be back in the car driving around like two pipe heads looking for a lick. That's how we were. Because he was getting high like I was getting high too. And I know some of y'all like, Nay, it's marijuana. Look, you can overdo marijuana. And that's all I'm going to say about that. When you incorporate in drugs into relationships, sometimes you stay longer in a situation than you should because you too high to get yourself together to leave. When I lost everything while I was in that relationship with that guy, I lost everything. I wasn't myself. I was not mentally me. Okay? Those were the times that I was talking about where I was homeless, meaning that there was no lease nowhere with my name on it. I was here, there, everywhere. Okay? And I'm telling you, when I lost everything, I cut all that getting high shit out. And then I focused on my YouTube. And at the time, the YouTube channel was very successful. I know you're like, Nay, we talking too much about that. I'm just explaining how I got past it. I stopped getting high and I was able to become very successful on YouTube. Now, things have faltered over here. I'm okay because I'm doing what makes me happy. Okay, reading these books and sharing it with you. But baby, when you in a relationship and both y'all getting high, you just in a daze the whole time. While high, the couple's marital issues seemed to drift away on a cloud of smoke. But by the next morning, the issues were glaring and undeniable. Larry was not assertive enough to make her feel safe. That's why she continued to test him, hoping he'd rise to the occasion and begin acting more like her father had, a man that she herself had emulated for years. Soon the relationship was fraying around the edges, and rumors began circulating that Phyllis and Larry were separating. But in a February 1979 profile in the New York Amsterdam News, Phyllis attempted to put them to rest. Larry and I have a very special relationship and have no intentions of splitting up, she said. We're very happy together. Didn't I tell you that them cancers be magnanimous with saving face? Child, them some bad bitches. Phyllis was understandably loyal to her husband in the press, but Clive demanded loyalty too, and Phyllis wasn't willing to give it. Headstrong, she was blinded to the potential benefits of playing the game Clive's way. Instead, Phyllis fumed. She felt betrayed and victimized by the man with the power to make her a star and his apparent decision to withhold it. And it was not just Clive she blamed. Phyllis's anger spilled over onto Angie Bofill as well. There was a resentment toward her because her career was pretty much on hold when Clive decided Angie Bofill was going to become the priority and Phyllis was going to be put on the back burner, said Perry. That's why she was annoyed. She saw that Ray Charles could see it. I sat and I saw it. I lived it. I was the one that was told point blank. The priority is Angie. Stuff like that, you can't do that to me. I'd be like, oh yeah? The priority is the other bitch. Speaking of the texting. When it got to the point where I couldn't figure out whether I was the chick or the side chick, I knew I had to go. Okay? Because the texting was telling me all the time. It's always a bitch named Keisha. But the texting was telling me the whole time that he wasn't really fucking with the girl, okay? But yet and still, Keisha's still calling the house phone, all right? I picked up the house phone one time. He's so slick and sneaky, he unplugged it. I said, oh, this bitch think he's slick. We come in the house from the movie, I plugged the phone back up. Look who called. I handed him the phone, was popping. Nigga was so pissed off in that situation. He told me to get out while she was on the phone. Oh, wait a minute. You disrespected me? I'm supposed to be the main girl? That was a wake-up call. You telling me to get out with this bitch on the phone? I think they're together now. I really don't care, because I'm like, the best bitch win. I have no problem with realizing, okay, you want her, you can have her. Once I realized that it's about competition, really, do you really love this nigga? Or is it just a competition to you? And I realized, no, he done way too much. It's not about a competition. She could have his ass. He's probably a better man to her than he could ever be to me, But once I realized that it's not me, that it's somebody else, I'm good. I'm gone. I'm finna do what I want to do. Okay? Y'all could be together. Y'all can suck on each other till y'all exasperate. I don't care. I'm going to tell y'all, like I tell everybody else that orbits my universe. The way that you maintain integrity in anything, if you don't want me, then I don't want you. Never beg. I ain't about to be over here and be old Angie Bofill. I try to do all I can for you. That's not my zhuzh. It has been. That's because I was tripping in that moment, but I ain't going to be that way. I'm not that way, okay? Especially the motherfucker I ain't married to. Now, my wife, she going to have the fight of her fucking life. You hear me? I'm going to wear that ass out in court if she, try to do something else. But them other people, we wasn't even married. By 1980, Arista's black music roster was falling into place, with acts like GQ and Ray Parker Jr. and radio, scoring big on both the R&B and pop charts. But a great deal of the label's attention was focused on a couple of legendary divas Clive had recently lured to the label. Clive had always regretted that Columbia had not been able to break Aretha Franklin. She lingered on the label for 6 years while they tried to mold her into a jazz singer without commercial success. Perhaps the reason he was unwilling to watch Phyllis go in the same direction. As soon as her contract expired, Aretha signed to Atlantic, where Jerry Wexler let loose the gritty and soulful side of the singer. She went on to score a remarkable 17 number one R&B single. Y'all, I'm smiling because we talk about my girl, okay? But hold on. She went on to score a remarkable 17 number one R&B singles for the label, 14 of them going gold. Now Clive had a second chance to show what he could do with Aretha as she signed to Arista that year. Dionne Warwick, by comparison, had always done better on the pop charts than she had in the R&B world. This tradition continued at Arista when she signed to the label in 1979. With all this action, it's easy to see how Phyllis could have gotten lost in the shuffle. But Clive wasn't finished with Phyllis just yet. For if he hated dealing with novice managers and uncooperative talent, he hated failure even more. In fact, one might say he detested it. Phyllis still had a contract with the label, and therefore Clive still wanted to prove himself by making her a star. After all, if the great Clive Davis couldn't make a star out of someone both so naturally talented and beautiful, what did it say about his and his label's hit-making powers? Got it. With James M. Tume and Reggie Lucas out of the picture, the search was on for new producers for Phyllis. Larkin Arnold knew Chuck Jackson from his Capitol days, where Jackson had helped launch the career of a young Natalie Cole with songs he co-produced with Cole's husband at the time, Marvin Yancey. Among the classics that musical union produced are inseparable. This Will Be an Everlasting Love, and Our Love, hey, will stand tall as the trees. Our love will be for the whole world to see. Our love will change people's wrongs to right like the stars above, and we'll always have each other. Girl, that is me and my sister's song. My sister looked like Natalie Cole too, if y'all ever seen her before. But anyway, among the classics that musical union produced are inseparable. This Will Be an Everlasting Love, Our Love, I got love on my mind, and I'm catching hell. The irony here is that Jackson co-wrote each of these songs with Yancey, yet the Phyllis project contained none of his own tunes. Arista decided to once again split the recording duties on the album and reteamed Phyllis with Norman Connors for the second half of the album. Connors was recording for Arista Direct these days, and according to the critics, he had captured a side of Phyllis on those first singles that no one had been able to find since. Connors was working out of the West Coast by this time, so Phyllis, who preferred to record in New York, reluctantly flew to Los Angeles to work on the album. Connors had been working with a feisty freelance production coordinator and hesitantly offered her the job of helping out on this project. He said, "I don't know if you can handle her. She's pretty rough," recalled Tina Stephens, who vividly remembers the first time she met Phyllis in the Kendrum Recorders studio in Burbank. "Are you that new producer person?" Phyllis asked her. "I need you to go to the store for me." Where my Pepsi at? Go to the store for you. Go to the store for you. Does producer mean gopher? Go to the store for you. That's crazy. How that work? You want me to go to the store for you? You got me. Tina was unmoved. "I'm a production coordinator," she explained. "I arrange the session musicians and schedule the sessions and keep things running smoothly. Someone who goes to the store for you is called a gopher, which I am not." That's right, Tina. I never had any problems with her after that, said Stephens. Of course, I did end up going to the store for her and running errands from time to time, but only because I wanted to. I can dig it. Phyllis appreciated Stephens' directness, a quality Phyllis herself embodied. Soon enough, the two were close pals, and Stephens found herself doing more than just running to the store for Phyllis. Phyllis had begun freebasing Booger Sugar, said Stephens. I felt very protective of her. I was always the one to hide her stuff because I didn't want the world to know what a major problem she had. First of all, I didn't know that Phyllis was on the pipe. Why y'all didn't tell me that the Phyllis Hyman was hitting the pipe?